n'a pas eu une saison facile. Mais là, on a une chance de se rattraper, de finir premier du classement. On ne doit pas la louper. Aujourd'hui, c'est la finale, on joue à domicile. On doit gagner. La cam, ça peut faire peur. On va les avoir, on s'est entraîné pour ça, non?
Oui.
Ok. Paul, tu multiplies les appels. C'est clair? Moussa, on sait qu'ils sont nazes en défense, on l'a vu, on a préparé. Ok? Du pressing, du pressing.
With Locker Room, it came across as docu-style at first, very quick cuts, very gritty in the moment. And then you kind of realize that there was almost a dark comedic air to it. The comedy, not intentional as in haha funny joke, but almost the absurdness of there's a fugitive, the cops are here, can he finish playing this game? How important is this game to everyone, including the cops, that they're willing to allow this fugitive to play the halftime? Okay, it's halftime. We're up. We need him. Okay, you can finish the game. You know, it's almost the absurdity of it, which gives it that comedic air to me. There's the negotiation with the police, you know, and as far as when he should be get arrested, and then the final giving him up in the end, and the team not wanting to give him up, you know, also adds into that absurdity of it. It looks sort of docu-style, like it's in real life, but I know that it's not actually a doc. It's just shot in that way. It's shot in that realistic way. And, you know, in the end, he's taken in, and, you know, even though the team bands with him so that he won't be, he gives up his freedom, but, you know, he gets to, you know, fight for the team that what she loves. This was another one with a language barrier. So I saw more of what was going on than I heard, just because of the inability to understand without the closed captioning. But it almost felt as if the fugitive was not really that concerned about getting arrested. And I don't know if I read that wrong, but that's just how he came across in his acting choices. And that's what also adds the absurdness to me, because it's just like, would you not be afraid, or have you become so resigned with the idea of this is it, that, you know, you almost don't care and you're just happy you got to live out this one last joyful moment before your freedom is gone.
Really interesting filmmaking here. The fact that it all happens in the locker room, and, you know, that's the name of the film, is really kind of smart. It's very economical filmmaking, but through the narrative and even the performances, we definitely get the sense that the world is much bigger than just this room, which would otherwise start to feel very claustrophobic. But we stay with Sabrina the whole time, and it's very intentional. And if it weren't, it would seem sort of like a cop out or poor filmmaking, but it's not. It's the complete opposite. It's very smart, very well done. Everyone involved should be really proud of this one.
The first thing I want to say to start off what I like about the locker room is in the title itself, the fact that the entire film takes place in the locker room. It does a very good job of using audio to its advantage to simulate a game outside, where you can imagine the game that's going on outside, but we never actually leave the locker room, which helps to create this claustrophobic kind of sensation, which definitely helps raise tension, especially as we learn more and more that one of the players is going to get arrested, which, again, segueing, I like that we were constantly being informed of the score. It got us invested into a game that we couldn't even see. And so, seeing all of these elements play out, it was very unique and very interesting to see just how they managed to raise the tension and then ended off with a very bittersweet ending. Tensions were definitely raising where the players were about to fight. The cops had their hands tied. Even though they tried to be reasonable, their boss did not like that they were being reasonable. And it was actually the one being arrested who diffused the whole situation. And I thought it was a very sweet notion that they refused to handcuff him at the end. I think that was a very nice notion for a situation that honestly could have ended a lot worse, but it still didn't end well. All in all, it was a very creative film, and I definitely liked it.
I think stylistically, the way the locker room was shot, I think it was really beneficial to the story. It made it look incredibly realistic, and it framed the piece to be really inviting, in the sense that the audience is, being let into this really intimate space and hearing these intimate conversations, and doing it within stylistically this way. It kind of intensifies that, and that really works to the story's advantage. Overall, I think it was a really interesting piece. It was, it did cover some more, deeper conversations in a way that felt really naturalistic and really just really realistic. It was really well done, especially this monologue in the beginning, which really invites the audience into this world and into this story, that, it could have been done completely differently. If you used a different filter, if you used a different lens, it would have made it seem much more staged, and it would have taken away from the story. But I think you do a really great job of establishing the tone of the piece right off the bat, and manipulating the view of how the audience will watch this piece as well. And it really works out in your favor. So really, really well done.
I genuinely thought this was a documentary at first. Based on the audio, the way the camera was being filmed, and the content, I immediately leapt to that, which just speaks to how realistic that opening scene was. I think it was the mockery, he's making a mockery of us line, that I was like, oh, okay, we have story, so here we're in this little story world. The twist of the police coming was really, really, really good. Anything could have happened as to why he wasn't there, and so them coming in was definitely like an oh snap sort of moment. Will he get to continue, will he not? I loved that the score was showed, because obviously we're not watching the game, we stay in the locker room, but having that little ticker board of the score and seeing who made all the goals and knowing that it was Tarek who made those goals definitely put the pressure on, like, will they take him, won't they? Because you could just see them cheering, and you knew a goal was happening, and then his name would pop up. So I thought that was a really cool detail.
This one, I thought, did a really good job of using a single, quite confined location to tell a story that existed outside of that location in addition to inside of it. I thought that was an interesting choice, and I think it's one that paid off quite well. Additionally, the performances throughout the film were all pretty solid. The central dilemma at the heart of it was executed quite well. It added a nice sense of tension and drama, which is something that I think was amplified by this sense of ambiguity throughout the film, because you never know for sure what Tarek did. One of the players mentions what he thinks it might be or what it supposedly is, but we never know for sure, and I think that's good. I think that adds something to the film. So even though it isn't a super deeply developed story or anything like that, it's still very well done. It's still interesting, and I enjoyed it.